Well, hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, owner of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the coaching community, the Book Business Bosses, where we help you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and become a book business boss. So I am super excited. She's no stranger to my platform. I've interviewed her multiple times. She's been a part of the educational summit. But I always want to not assume that people do not know her. She's known from one end of the country to the other, but I want her to formally introduce herself, tell us where she's from, and tell us where people can find you on social media as well as your website. Because I know people, when I go live, they want to be able to follow you on social media as well as visit your website and find out more information about you. Welcome, everyone. Please share, please comment, please tag, especially aspiring educators, teachers, administrators, and parents as well. So, Dr. Bowles, please introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and tell us where people can find you on social media and your website.
Thank you so much, Dr. Julia Royston, the best publisher in the land. I am Dr. Tamara Bowles. I am the president and CEO of Building Your Future Consulting LLC, and I am also the president and chair of BYF Consulting Number One. Both of my companies operate up under the umbrella of education. I also am glad to announce that I manage Autistic Scholars Trust Funds, and I serve as a adjunct instructor under the School of Business for Kentucky State University. So my websites are number one for BYF Consulting LLC is byfconsulting.org. The website for BYF Consulting Number One is byfconsultingnumber1.com. And you can definitely reach me. And I want to tell you that I am from Pensacola, Florida. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I grew up in Pensacola, and I have lived in Louisville, Kentucky for 20 years on and off. So hello to everyone in every state that is on this evening. Thank you very much.
All righty, all righty. So the primary purpose of our time together um, today is I really want to spotlight and first off say congratulations to Dr. Bowles on the release of book number two. Yay! 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 And yay! I'm always thrilled and excited and ecstatic about every book that's launched. It doesn't matter how many books I publish, no matter how many books I write, it's still like it's the very first one, and I'm always over the top ecstatic about it. Hello, Minister Joanne James. Hey, love, how are you? So I want to first off, so what was the now as educators, we know that um education is just key for teachers and for educators, but everybody doesn't necessarily go as far as the doctorate. They just definitely don't. And so I want to know, first off, what was the real driving force behind you pursuing your doctorate?
Thank you so much, Dr. Royston, for asking that question. First of all, let me be clear. It's not about the title, it's about the journey and the testimony under the hat. For me, as an African American woman and as a female, it was past personal. It was about representing and making sure other women of color knew that if they pursued an opportunity as it relates to their education, that they can do anything they put their mind to doing. And so, on that note, I am the first in my family to receive a doctorate of education. And let me just be clear again and serve you notice that every item that I wore under that hat, it has benefited and paid off. The opportunities and doors that have opened as Dr. Tamara Bowles is priceless. And guess what? I have to continue to stay humble and continue to trust God that He's going to do just what He said. And I want you to know that if I can make it and if I can be Dr. Tamara Bowles, anyone can.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So congratulations on all your accomplishments and doors I know are continuing to open for you. But I have to ask, because somebody who is considering pursuing the doctorate and going for it, educationally, academically, we know it takes a lot. But I really want you to chime in on what it takes emotionally, because the entire journey, now you got to get the book Under the Doctoral Hat. It's at Amazon.com. You got to get the book. And she'll take you on that journey, but deep down emotionally, what did it really take? I mean, determination, tears, up today, down tomorrow. But what did it take for you emotionally to do it?
Thank you, Dr. Royston. So for me, the emotional standpoint was when I tell you I had to be in my prayer room, in my closet. I am grateful that I had the support of my husband, Anthony Bowles, and my support team. Emotionally, it took dedication, it took commitment, it took the support team to continue to tell me that you can do it, you can make it. I had to literally treat it like a job. And when I treat things like a job, I give it my all, no matter what job it is. When I share with you that there were some obstacles, there were some bumps in the road, and there were some barriers that I had to climb, that I had to go around. When I share with you that it was a struggle, it was just that. Now, I'm going to be honest, Dr. Bowles is not a crier, but can I tell you, I had to cry sometime? And then I had to literally just fall on my knees and said, Father God, I need you right now, because I was ready to give up. But every time I thought about people who paved the way for me, I'm talking about the Rosa Parks, I'm talking about the late Martin Luther King Jr., I'm talking about all of those individuals. It is Black History Month, who
Mm-hmm.
paved the way for me and my late grandparents, the late Alberta and Frank Molay, as well as the Aunt Kathleen, who is still living. Guess what? I put on my hat, my whole armor of God, and I pressed on, okay? Because I had to see what the end was going to be like. It's not about being first in a race. You just got to finish. And I can tell you that I finished. And I was so excited to walk across that stage in Atlanta, Georgia, and they announced Dr. Tamara Bowles. When I tell you I saw the light, Dr. Royston. And again, I don't apologize for introducing myself as Dr. Bowles. I share with people the way I dress is how I expect to be addressed. Okay. And so, with that, and on that note, again, you have to humble yourself and you have to be determined, because I choose my destiny. And with this hat, I stand on my integrity and my good name, because that's all that you have. And that comes from the old folks. All you have is your good name.
That's what they said.
Yes. And so when I'm out in the community, I do reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. But let me give a shout out to Lexington and Louisville, as well as the other states that I'm constantly in. I appreciate being able to walk in a room and people say, "You're Dr. Bowles." And I say, "Yes." But at the end of the day, I was Tamara before I was Dr. Bowles.
That's why I tell them all the time. I'm still Julia and K. That's what my daddy used to say. But in regards to your book, what do you really want the takeaways to be? What do you want people to gain from your book?
Dr. Royston and everyone who is on Facebook and the Streamline, YouTube, the takeaway for me, and I'm asking this of you, is to know that you can complete and do anything that you put your mind to doing. I am a visionary. I believe in vision boards. I believe in accomplishing goals. But guess what? In order to do those things, you got to clear some things off your plate. So the takeaway for me to give to you is, don't put too much on your plate that you can't accomplish in a short time. So when I share with you that you have to say no sometime, you have to learn to say no. And yes, even Dr. Bowles has to say no. And then rest. Without that rest, you will be no good for nothing or no one. So I had to learn to rest a little more and to slow down. And those are the takeaways that I want to give you. On that vision board, it can be an index card, it can be a sheet of paper, it can be a sticky note. Put I will be Dr. Bowles. I will be whatever your last name is. I will be Dr. James. I will be Dr. Demery. I will be Dr. Riddick. It doesn't matter. You have got to put those items, that vision board, all around your home, in your car, on your refrigerator. So it will constantly remind you of what you're working towards. Okay. And that's with anything. But guess what? It's not just under the doctoral hat as a doctor, it could be under the hat for a GED, under the hat for a high school diploma, under the hat for the high set, under the hat to get stronger. It can be anything. But for me, it's under the doctoral hat, because when I take off that hat and I look inside the hat, I look at everything that I went through, and I look at the the time that I wanted to give up and I couldn't. And guess what? Because I didn't and I pressed on, look what the end results are. I am known all over the world. I teach in China, Fuzhou, Beijing, Shanghai, North Africa, Tunisia, as well as Istanbul, Turkey. And I teach, and I'm known as Dr. Tamara Bowles. So it's personal for me. But then again, at the end of the day, it's about the journey and the testimony. And I promise you, when you go through the doctoral process, you're going to have a testimony, and you're going to have a journey that you're going to reflect back on, and you're going to be like, wow, I accomplished this. Another milestone in your life.
So this is what my challenge is to everyone who is listening, whether you're listening now or you're listening on the replay. Get that vision board out. Determine where you want to go. And then secondly, if you need to be inspired, sometimes it does take good evening, love. Good evening. Good evening. It does take, and I still want to refer back to her first book, Cleaning Out My Garden, because that, as the first book, sometimes that's where we need to start. You have to correct some things emotionally, mentally, family wise, say sorry, ask for forgiveness, get some things in order, change your mindset, change your surroundings, change who you hang out with, get a new village, get some other. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I trust that you're being inspired. That's my goal this evening, because Dr. Bowles' books really seek to do that. Cleaning Out My Garden is just that. Her journey to one level of education, and then under the doctoral hat, she's telling you the journey and the testimony all the way to getting her doctorate. But some of us need both books. You may want the doctorate, but you need to go back and get book number one, Cleaning Out My Garden, too, as well, because there are some weeds. There's some, and those weeds could be people, those weeds could be mindset, those weeds could be people who tried to keep you down, that tried to tell you you couldn't. And so you have to dig that stuff out and root it out and turn it. Now it's not going to be easy, especially if some people told you some things as a child, and you may need a therapist. You may need Jesus and a therapist. But my point is, I would get both books together, because if you're striving to really go someplace that's not so much just outside of your comfort zone, but it's outside of your family or outside of your arena. You're being the first in your family. You're being the first whoever strive to do that. You need to get books. You need to get mentorship. You need to get coaches. You need a therapist. You need all of it to be able to achieve your goals. And sometimes it starts with cleaning out your garden. And then under the doctoral hat will help you and encourage you and keep you on that journey. Now, Dr. Bowles is extremely busy. She's got all these businesses and endeavors, but having her books is one way that she can encourage each and every person individually. Because as we all read it, we're going to take something different and take a different, something different away from it. And I also, my another thing I want to encourage you, especially in the virtual and online space, invite Dr. Bowles to come and speak to your women's groups, your youth groups. I know that she's working with Charlotte in the GED programs too as well. She called me. We even said prayer over the phone the other day because she was headed into the correctional institution. So she's teaching people in the correctional facilities. She's everywhere you want to be. So we're praying for. No, ma'am. They're her books are on. Her books are on her website, byfconsulting.org. Correct?
Correct. Well, I want to share some with you. I would like you to order from my website, byfconsulting.org, like Dr. Royston said, so I can autograph that book. And not only am I working here in Charlotte, I am also teaching ACT prep courses to the Black Males Working Academy in Lexington, Kentucky, of course, up under the leadership of Dr. Roz Akins and team. And then I also train teachers at Carter G. Woodson in Lexington, Kentucky, and then working with the wonderful school district with Jefferson County Public Schools, with Atherton High School and other schools in the community, as well as Louisville Collegiate. I have scholars from Manual, KCD, I mean, all over. So just know, as well as Oldham County. So it's so many, I don't want to call names because I don't want to forget. But one thing I want to share with you, that my first book, Cleaning Out My Garden, it really helped inspire me to not only complete the second book, because in cleaning out my garden, I was intentional about the vegetables of victory, the fruits of focus, and then with the prosperity, the plants of prosperity. So those are words that were encouraging to me in my heart. So with that being said, you can actually contact me directly, okay? My number is 502-424-0010, or you can email me at byfconsulting@yahoo.com. And remember, two websites, byfconsulting.org, and you can actually purchase the book from there, or byfconsulting1.com. And let me autograph that book or those books and get them to you. And again, thank you for all my supporters that are on. I can see my ride and dies. I see the family members. I could not do it without you. But let's make sure we put the icing on the cake. Dr. Julia Royston walked with me through the entire process. When I share with you that I am happy to tell people I authored 2 books, it is absolutely astonishing. So thank you again, Dr. Royston. I could not have done this without you and my team.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. So, Ms. Yolanda Demery says she just ordered her book on Amazon. So thank you, yay, yay. And I know Dr. Bowles is going to see the book, and you're going to have her sign it later. I know you will. I know you
Yolanda
will.
Demery's was already sent. Joanne James ordered 2 before the book was written, okay? So listen, those are already in the mail and ready before the book is written. Okay, that's what I can share
I
with you.
love it. I 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 appreciate all that you're doing, Dr. Bowles, and all that you're inspired to do. And just as a caveat, if you have young people who need assistance, be sure to go to byfconsulting.org and register and pay for sessions. She's building her team all the time. Yes, ma'am. Miss Joanne James, Reverend Minister Joanne James is on top of everything. She really, really is. But be sure and visit byfconsulting.org so that you can assist and work with BYF Consulting. And oh, this is awesome. She's a jewel and help to many. Both women are Shero for Black History. Yay! We love you.
And
We
one
love
last
you. Appreciate
thing,
that.
you all know that my passion is youth and young adults. And can I share with you these last thoughts? Don't ever let your passion shift to money. Because when your passion shifts from passion to money, then that's not a good shift.
No.
So let it be your passion. And my passion is youth and young adults, working with them. And then, of course, making sure that I'm going to continue to be the author of several more books. So get ready, Dr. Royston, get ready. Thank you to Shaw Williams, my family in Hoptown and Bowling Green. I see you.
Yeah, we love you. We love you all. I appreciate you. under the doctoral hat. If you don't have cleaning out my garden, you need to get that too. So buy them both while you're getting them so that you can be inspired. Buy 2 or 3 sets to inspire somebody else, a young person. Everything in there. Uh, yes, ma'am. Dr. Bowles has 2 Black achievers in Louisville. Yes, ma'am. She does. Several. Yes, ma'am. Passion equals purpose. Exactly. Exactly. I think if we could all focus on purpose, which is a great segue that we all could focus on our purpose, we can get a whole lot more done. Even in this time in which we're living, we can still be able to accomplish much and help each other, especially this time when we need each other more now than we ever did before. So, I am honored to be Dr. Bowles' publisher and appreciate all the opportunities that she's bringing my way and people to meet and places to go and places to be. It is truly an honor and a privilege. And believe you me, I'll be back down in Charlotte sometime soon, so we can go out and eat and hang out. Then we'll go to the beach and put our toes in some sand. How about that? But thank you so much. Get her book now. Touch base with her. I put her information in the comments. Reach out to Dr. Bowles, and if nothing else, be sure and share it. Show love on Valentine's and buy books, not roses. Books will last longer. Thank you, Thank you, Miss Joanne James. You know I love you and I appreciate you always. I appreciate your prayers too, and you're always concerned for us as we, as they say, we're out here on the battlefield for the Lord and as entrepreneurs. So we appreciate it. Thank you, and appreciate you all for being here, sharing, telling others, and of course connecting with Dr. Bowles so that she can be your next speaker, help you with leadership coaching, all that good stuff. Contracts, get your contract ready and present it to her. Make sure the money's right. Make sure the contract's right. The terms are right. Make sure she got room on her calendar. Jump on before the calendar get too full. New York bestseller. Let's go. Oh, I love it. Here she comes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You all be blessed. Dr. Bowles, one last thing before we go.
All I want to say is thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem at all. You all be blessed. We love you all and continue to share and support. And we thank you and appreciate you. Good night. Bye bye.